Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. Does it hurt?
No, not really. She's just a little uncomfortable. All this extra weight on my back, that's the problem.
I thought you wanted to be surprised.
I thought so too, but when you go to the office and the doctor asks, well, do you want to know? Jamie and I just looked at each other and said yes. It's just too tempting.
Well, at least now you know what clothes to get and what colors to paint.
Yeah, Jamie bought 5 gallons of pink.
5? Oh my God.
It's a lot easier, but no surprise.
Yeah. You know, when I was younger, I used to think a lot about children. I used to wonder if I would, even if I should have a child. I was worried I wouldn't be a good mother.
That's ridiculous.
You didn't know me then. But it's funny, now that I want to, it's too late.
I think I hear a clock ticking. Are you and Harry okay?
Yeah. We're okay.
Emma, you have plenty of time. You could have 5 kids if you wanted.
5. Harry's never wanted children.
No?
No.
Why?
He told me that he couldn't stand to lose me if something went wrong.
Oh, God, men. Sometimes they're sweet and they do have their uses, but they're so stupid. You shouldn't worry. You're young and healthy. He'll change his mind.
Oh, the pie's ready.
How is Harry?
Harry?
Yeah. I saw him the other morning. He seemed, I don't know, a little distracted. Did he? Is everything all right with you guys?
Well, everything's not all right. Not all right at all. I think the pie needs to cool off a bit. I love it hot, don't you?
Yeah, sure.
Let's take a look. Do you know, Beth? Harry's the only man I've ever really loved. It's only been 3 years, but they've been 3 good years. We may not have always been the most romantic or passionate of couples, but we were happy. Harry was really sweet. I adored him. I suppose he had the secrets, things he never talked to me about. Everyone has. You don't have to know everything about someone to love them. If you do, you sort of kill the mystery, so they say. But things began to change. You know, after you live with someone for a few years, you pick up on each other's habits. You even come to expect them. Well, Harry's always home by 6. You could set your clock to him. But about a month ago, he started coming home later. He said things were piling up at work and he was falling behind, needed to catch up. It was a little upsetting. It was changing our routine. But more importantly, it was taking a toll on Harry. He seemed tired, and as you said, distracted. It was as if he wasn't really here with me. Then I noticed that often there'd be dirt, sometimes even mud on his shoes. That was odd because normally he wouldn't walk through that on a work day. But I didn't ask him why because somehow I knew he didn't want me to know. It was part of his secret and why things were going wrong. Then one night, about a few weeks ago, I got a call from Dan, his friend from work. I asked him, "Isn't Harry there? He told me he'd be working late at the office tonight." "No," he said. "He left his usual time just after 5. Then realizing he might be getting Harry into trouble, he tried covering for him and said that there must be some kind of mix-up. They probably got delayed in running an errand or something. He told me not to bother mentioning that he called.
Why didn't the high school door? So he'd come home late and tired every night with mud on his shoes?
No, not every night, but often enough to cause me to worry and wonder. One day, I was tossing out some old papers when I noticed something had been torn out of the obituary section. That afternoon, I went to the library and looked it up. Nora Fraser. The name meant nothing to me. The paper said she was 76 and that she committed suicide by hanging herself. She had no surviving family, and her only daughter, Nancy, was 19 when she died in childbirth back in 1974. I sat there wondering, why had he cut this out? What did this mean to him? What did this have to do with my Harry? Last night, I waited for Harry after work, and I followed him. As I expected, he wasn't coming straight home. Instead, he drove off the main road and onto a deserted one. Finally, he came to a cemetery. He drove on a bit, then he stopped and got out of his car and began to walk. I stayed back, careful that he wouldn't see me. Beth, I was determined to find out who was hurting Harry and what was making him act so strangely. I was finally going to know who was trying to take Harry away from me, and I was going to stop them. I saw Harry walk up, then disappear over a hill. I followed him. He was standing before a grave with a small headstone. He was rather still for a while. Then he began to say something, but I was too far away to hear what it was. Then he got down on his knees, and he took something out of his jacket pocket. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. As I got closer, I could hear Harry weeping, crying like a baby. The headstone read Nancy Fraser, born 1955, died 1974, Nora's daughter, and Harry's. Between his sobs, he kept saying how much he missed her, that it was all his fault, that he would always love her, always. Then he placed a single rose on the poor girl's grave. I'll never forget that. The way he placed it so lovingly on the grass. Harry never gave me flowers, but I always loved him. Always.